Not a bad little bracket. And just like that, we're back in the garage, guys, working on the giveaway mini chopper build. Got a couple little things I want to do today. It's cold. We got the ice storm of 2026. As you can see, you probably see my breath. Got my little heater going out here. But I've got my seat in. I wanted to start messing with this, guys. I like the seat. I think it's a good size, good shape. I just don't think I'm going to be able to use them springs. I think the springs look funny. We're going to mess around with it. That's what we're going to be working on today. So I originally got this, guys, because I wanted to put the seat, right? I've got the seat pan, and then these little springs will go, you know, under here. But I think it's going to be too tall. It's kind of hard to mock it up. Yeah, I think the seating position, it's just going to be too tall. It looks goofy, doesn't fit it. I don't know why it's so tall like that. So now I've used seats like this before without the springs. So like that's more or less basically where I want it or how I want it. I'm going to remove this pan and also see what that looks like. So I've got that bolted, got the front bolted down. Everything's just loosely fitted, as you can tell. I got to tighten all that up, but I like it down like this. Let's see if I can do it. I do like the feet. Yeah, see, that feels pretty good. Any taller and it's just not gonna. Yeah, it feels really good. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to figure out, make a cross bracket or figure out how to kind of cut this here. Let me show you guys. Gonna have to figure out a way to make a cross bracket so it's got something to sit on so it's just not rocking. Once I do that, I think it'll be all right. I almost kind of wish this was a little bit lower. Maybe remove this or even cut it down and weld this to it so it brings the nose down so it's not so far up. So we got some work, guys. Definitely not going to be bolt and go here, but I think it looks pretty good. I like that brown seat. We still got to pick a color, guys. Comment below. Tell me what color scheme you like the best. We could do a traditional black, brown seat. You know, I've got some white frame, teal color options, purple and silver or chrome. Many different options. You tell me. We can go crazy with it and do like a traditional chopper yellow. It's going to be up to you guys. Comment below. Let me know what you want to see this thing painted as, and we'll definitely do it. All right, so after a couple day hiatus, guys, man, we got a ton of snow. Back out here working on the mini chop. So got my throttle in, so throttle's on. Everything's working real nice. I've got grips on the way. I've got a ton of parts on the way, but wanted to come out. Got the throttle ran, looks real nice. I'm happy with the way that's working out. Got to make some adjustments a little bit, get some, you know, get my slack and stuff, but still working on everything. And then we're going to take this off. I think I'm going to cut this straight here, and I'm going to weld this piece right on the frame. And what that's going to do is that's going to get my front of my seat lower. Definitely needs to be lower. It sticks up high, so we'll get that lower, and it's going to adjust the pivot point. All right, guys, so also I wanted to show you, I welded this real nice in there. Got my tab all welded up both sides. So this is going to be permanently fixed to the frame. I still got to figure out the seat, but the back, and figure out kind of what I want to do there. But at least here we've got, you know, we've got the seat fixed. I'm going to kind of figure out cutting if I want to use the springs or not, but I like the low profile, you know, how it's low, so we don't have that real big gap right here. All right, so we got some parts in, guys. Got the gas tank. Just got it sitting up there, so I think I'm going to kick the tank up a little bit so it's not hanging down through the channel. We're going to drill and tap the back so it bolts right into the neck or the backbone. And then I'm going to pull this up so it's got a much nicer angle on it. So we're gonna do that, so it's not so far. So doing that, we've got just enough clearance. And I think when we lift it up, it's gonna be just fine. I think it's actually gonna give us a little more clearance that way. So I think that's gonna be nice. I saw these tabs. I just don't think having it, I don't know, I don't think having it that low is the way to go. I wanna have it up a little bit, I'm pretty sure. So yep, let's do that. So it's gonna be real simple, guys. I am going to, see, I don't want it, if I push it up too far, it's gonna hit, I think. I'm gonna drill and tap here. And I'm gonna do some fitting, so I make sure it clears everything, and then drill and tap it. Well, there's the side profile, guys. I really like that it's up and not so far down. It looks and fits pretty good. I'll be able to tuck my wires. I think that's what I'll end up doing, is I'll be able to feed all my wiring that I do have up through the tunnel. Plenty of space, clearance on both sides for turning. That's coming along. It's actually starting to look like something. And I've used this tank, guys. I've built a couple other mini choppers with this exact tank. I've actually built 3 others. So I'm gonna link it down below for the price. I mean, it's $100, give or take. I think it's right around that $99. It is fantastic. I've used it. I love it. It doesn't leak. I mean, we're gonna obviously have to paint it. It's a raw tank, but it always, especially on a smaller bike or chopper like this, I mean, you literally can't beat it. Man, that looks awesome. So the tank is nice and solid. I've got it completely bolted snug. Next thing I'm gonna do, very simple, is I wanna get the petcock on, run my gas line. You know, I got the parts, like to get this thing, you know, rolling, tested. Everything's working good before I, you know, strip it down for paint. So, guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. I really love building these mini choppers. As I said before, I built a couple of them, and they're just so much fun. They're definitely one of my favorite things to build. Loving motorcycles like I do. It's just super fun, guys. All right, so we finally got some more parts in, guys. I'll go over some of that stuff, but the first thing I want to do, because we're doing a filter that I'll show you, we're going to get more air in. We're doing an exhaust. I need to go ahead and I've got jets, so I want to jet this thing up. So I went ahead. I've never ran anything through the carb. We're going to pull the carb off, pull the bowl, and we're going to jet this thing up. We're going to put a bigger main and pilot in this thing. Then I'm also going to probably switch out switch out my fuel line, and we're going to run an inline fuel filter. So let's jump over on the bench to kind of show you some of the stuff we got. So I've got the carb over here, guys. Got some red grips. I'll show you those. I actually put them on the bike. So I've got a nice collection of the valve stems, which we need for the front and back. Chain adjusters. These are super nice. This is what I'm looking for. This is going to be our jets. With the jets, we also have the filter kit. So we've got the filter, and it acts like basically a velocity stack, and I'll show you that once we get it on. All red iodized. I went with the red stuff, and you'll see I've got red grips, so it should look pretty good. There we go. Just like that. Got to get more fuel with the air and the exhaust. Screw that in. You don't have to go crazy once it seats. I didn't just touch the bowl or nothing. Boom. And we're gonna put this back together. All right, so what we'll do, guys, is we'll go ahead and start putting this back on. I'm gonna run my line first, because the original stock one's super short to the carburetor. There we go. And I'll show you guys why I did that. I just didn't have enough fuel line. So fuel line on, or I didn't have enough on the stock one. When you pull it, it's super short because it like connects under on the bottom of the tank. Got some vacuum lines to deal with as well. And then don't forget your throttle. Got your outside gasket. We're gonna put that on. And then this bad boy goes on, guys. Just like so. Because remember, if you guys remember, the box was hitting for the air box. So it's gonna give you better performance and it's gonna give you better clearance. This is a nice kit. It actually came with everything you need, extra studs, extra spark plug, fuel filters, clamps, brackets, everything you need is right there. So we can put our filter on and boom, 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 good to go. Snug this up. Now we got an exhaust. The only thing that didn't come is super annoying today. It's supposed to be potentially today, if we don't get delayed, it's supposed to come yesterday, is my exhaust. But we can always make one if we need to. Either way, it's gonna have more flow in. We gotta have more flow out. And that's your intake. So I guess my exhaust got delayed, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I need to make something. You don't wanna run it without, an exhaust. So I cut off from the stock exhaust little header. So I've got, essentially a snub exhaust here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fab one up. I've got some leftover tubing, actually an old exhaust that I cut. So I think what I'm gonna do is probably something like this. I'm probably gonna cut it back another inch or so. And this is just temporary, guys. This is just solely just to get this thing running. This tube fits it, and I figured why not? It fits in there and then I could just weld it. Honestly, wouldn't be too bad. Maybe take another ½ inch off, get it closer to the frame. I'll come up with a way to just at least hold it. So, and I can cut this off. I don't know. I just thought the sweep, it'd be nice to so my goal, honestly, is just, I want to get this, got the carb on like I showed you guys. I want to oil in this thing, get some fuel in it, start it up. I still got to fix the tires, get air in the tires. We're a long way from riding it, but we're definitely getting a little bit closer with everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off a little bit. I'm gonna weld this to it, and then we'll just have a makeshift exhaust. All right, so as you guys saw, we got that, this is my temporary exhaust. So I cut the weird end off. It's gonna be like a microphone, goes into a little bit bigger diameter. It's crude, it's not very good looking, which is fine. I mean, I'm not worried about that. We just need something where we're not burning the valves up, because we're running no freaking exhaust whatsoever. I don't think I'm gonna be on the road anytime soon, you never know. But at least this way we can run some tests. Yep, so there it is, guys. It'll clear, have my leg down, clear the frame, kind of down sweep out the back a little bit. I'm excited. I bet it sounds pretty good. I mean, that's, again, ultimately the one that I've got, it actually goes down and it's going to come on the bottom rail. That's the one I ordered. It's nice and chrome. So again, this is just going to be for test purposes so we can run it. And yeah, let's get some oil in this thing, maybe put a little gas in the tank. Maybe we'll try it out. I'm probably going to pull it off the lift and get it off the lift. So before we do that, go over some of the stuff that I need to get done. So in order to get this thing ready to roll and do a test run, I've got to put the new valve stems on the tires. So I'm gonna have to take both tires off, unfortunately, pop half the side off so I can get that replaced. I want to go ahead and get my chain tensioner in there. I'm gonna weld up a piece so we can make that happen. I'm gonna make like I had mentioned before, I'm gonna make a piece of metal rod that bolts here, and it's gonna be welded here. So this will be removable. I think that's gonna be the best way to do that. And then most importantly, guys, like I have no brakes. There's no front brake on the front, which I gotta order. It has the disc brake and the bracket. I've just gotta order that, but I need to make a bracket so this doesn't spin for the drum brakes. And then I've got my brake cable. I've got to run that and actually run it and make it work on the foot brake. So, and then we'll at least have the foot brake, and at that point we'll have, you know, everything we need so we can actually run this thing up the road. But I don't know, let's do a couple things. I was thinking about getting it running, but I think before I do that, I want to make some of these brackets, because I'm going to have to weld everything, and I don't know if I want to put fuel and everything in this before you know, we're welding on the frame, grounded to the frame. We've got fuel and stuff in the tank. So let's start making some brackets. All right, so I'm working on this, guys, and so this is the, you know, the actual chain tensioner. You can adjust it depending on where you put your spring. It'll do, you know, give you the tension. This is a decent thickness, but, and I could probably just grind this down and weld it to the frame, but I want it to be removable, and I also want to add some rigidity. So I've got my 3/16 stock, flat stock. And what I've done is I made a nice piece. You can see, I drilled it. The holes fit real nice. So what I'm going to do here, this is what's going to be welded to the frame. So I'm building an L-shaped bracket, and I'm going to weld that to the frame, and then the actual chain tensioner, I have to zip these out a little bit, so make the hole just a smidge bigger. So they just go through, but this will be bolted to it. I've got nuts and bolts that fit, real nice Allen key stuff. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make my mark. And what will happen is this L bracket will be welded together like that. And I'll have my holes, and I'll be able to I'm going to weld this L bracket to the frame, and then my chain tensioner will bolt right to it. There it is. It's not a bad little bracket, so it actually turned out really well. So what it'll do is, like I said, it'll be welded to the frame, and then this will bolt to it, and that's going to give us more than enough strength so this doesn't twist and bend. So now I'm just trying to figure out welding this to it where I want that so I can have enough. So I'm going to mess with this, guys, and we're going to get the bracket welded in and then our chain tensioner on. So there it is, guys. Got the bracket nice. So I see this bolts to it, like I said. I can adjust the tension if I need to, but that holds it real nice. So that's going to keep tension on my chain. Obviously you can adjust it, but just keeps enough on there and keeps the roller going. So that, I think that looks really good. Welded it up real nice, so then I can always remove it and so on and so forth. Get extra parts, you can adjust the tension. Just a super, super sweet system. This will also help, like I said, with bending. If I welded this right to it, it's stuck, but then when I paint it, it's gonna have to be painted, but I can remove this, it looks fresh, and then also when if it bends, you get a lot of down pressure. I didn't want it to twist, so this should ultimately help with that. I'm gonna weld the backside, but I think we're in a good place. That's a good thick. Let's get some gas into this thing, huh? Let's put some gas in it. Be the first start on this thing. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see what it does. All right, so I went ahead, checked everything, got a little bit of fuel in there, got fuel going to my carb. The only thing to do now is just check this thing. Let's got oil in it. good. The old makeshift pipe. Forgot I still got the governor. We'll have to do a little fiddling with that, but I don't have any brakes. I most certainly got to work on the brakes, but there you go, guys, making progress. All right, guys, that's the super sketch. We're running with no brakes, flat tires. Yeah, I gotta get the whatchamacallits fixed. Oh, it'll cruise. It's scary not having any brakes, boys. Oh yeah. Riding on flats too, so that doesn't help. Need to get those off, fix them today. Yep, gonna lose my tire. Get it nice and warmed up. Oh yeah, boys. Get them tires fixed. Some brakes would be good. Yeah, it wants to go for sure. All right, so there it is, guys. Episode 2 of the mini chopper giveaway bike build. Down for the books. We got the tank on, we've got the seat on, got the engine obviously all buttoned up, made us a little exhaust till the one we ordered comes in, made a custom bracket for the chain tensioner, got it running under its own power, which is awesome. Took this thing up the road, as you see. That was super sketchy. Don't be like me. I rode this thing with no brakes, 2 flat tires. Next video, we're gonna get these tires off, get some air in them. We're gonna run the brake, we gotta hook up all the brakes. I'm gonna order the front disc brakes so it'll have rear drum and front disc. Start just fine tuning everything. There's quite a few little things that I wanna do to make this thing perfect. Then we're gonna tear it down, we're gonna paint this thing, and it's gonna be one of your guys's. So on that note, guys, if you wanna win this bike, there's one thing you gotta do, one thing only. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to use an automatic generator. I put my YouTube URL in it, and it's going to pull one of my subscribers, guys, and that's who's going to win this thing. And I will either ship it to you or personally deliver it in my truck. And I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see one of you guys enjoy this. We've got a lot of work to do. Episode 3 will be coming soon. I appreciate your patience. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Until next time, peace.